everyone, it is Mickey here from A Pretty Talent, where we use our God-given talents to make the world a pretty place. And I'm super excited about today's video because I'm starting something brand new for me. To other people it's old hat, but to me it's brand new. And what I'm doing is I'm launching a shop in coffee.com. And I am going to release this kit of 60 pages in the shop for free today. Twofold for the launch, and also it is my birthday. I decided to make this coincide with each other. So it's a freebie to you, just to say thank you for your support, for being here, for subscribing, etc., etc. It is free to anyone. You can download it for free. They are going to ask you to put in an amount. Just put in 0, and then you can check this out on Ko-fi. I will put the link in the description below. Now, I'm going to quickly run through what is in the kit. Then I'm going to switch off and first cut out everything, fussy cut and whatever it is, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what I do with this kit, just as some inspiration for yourself. So the kit is called Pretty in Pink, and you do not need to print the cover page. I have printed it, well, for my own reasons. It's included in the kit, but just print from page 2 on when you print this kit. I will say this, the kit will download as a single folder, but you need to unzip that folder, and then inside that folder will be 3 more zipped folders, one with a double page layout, one with a single page layout, and another folder with all the embellishments. And you will need to unzip all of those, or extract is the word that they use on the computer, all of those folders as well, in order to access the files. Okay, any case, here goes. We start with a double page layout. And let me quickly tell you what I've done. I have taken photos of textures and things around my house, things that I see around my house, and I have brought it into my computer. I manipulated those with the camera a little bit so they're not exactly the same colors and whatever it is. Then I took it into Canva and I turned it into a printable, and that's as simple as this is, but here goes. So this is your double page layout. Honestly, I'll work on this thing, but I'm going to call it an alternative printer, and I'm working on my Canon printer. My Epson printer is giving me hassles these days. I've been overworking it, that's why. Canon does not have the same print quality as Epson. So to me, this is frustrating. These are not the vivid colors that I'm used to. And it's such a pity that I have to launch with a camera, a printer that's just not up to the task. So I do apologize for that. But also the settings on Canon is terrible. You might be able to get more from your printer, is what I'm trying to say. I'm very frustrated with Canon at this stage, but in case. So this is what I've got. The 2-page spread out, or double page spread out. There are 14 of these pages. And this is more or less what they look like. Now, it's pink, but it's not glaringly pink. I toned it down from the pink. Let me show you this, because I just printed on all sorts of backgrounds here. This is how I manipulate it. Now, I decided not to go all this weird and wonderful with the things that I included in the kit. I still kept it to a pinkish. But I didn't want it to be in your face pink either. I like pink, but yeah, it gets a bit too much. And so it's completely tuned down. Some of these double pages I have dimmed a bit, so it's easier to write on them. And some I have left quite vivid. And so here you can see these are way more vivid than the first ones were. So just to give you a bit of variety. I did not want to go overboard with embellishments that I print on the pages, because I think that is something that you actually want to be able to do yourself, the embellishments. So I embellished the double page layout, and that's it. There are 14 double page layouts. And then we get to the single page layouts. And there are 21 of these. And these I did not embellish at all, so that you would have the freedom to cut these up, use them as backgrounds, do whatever you want. They're all dimmed down a bit so that you can write with any pen on it. It should be easy to read. So they would make for wonderful journaling space. Yeah, I did put a little bit of a darker border around some. Most of them have a very light border. But for some I decided let's do a bit of a higher contrast. And we went a little darker around the borders. You will have this. We have the same kind of thing, but I changed the direction of the lines. So I did that with a couple of these. This one as well, in this direction, whereas the next one is in that direction. I also changed the colors up a little bit. But yes. Right, and those are your single page elements. And now we get to the embellishments. Now I'll say this as well. I'm teaching full-time, so I don't have a whole lot of time. I have started designing my own kit in Canva and just realized, you know what, I don't actually have the time. So I went online and I bought pre-existing templates. And these are just so much easier to work. So if you recognize the templates, you're quite right. I have bought pre-existing templates, and but I have the right to use those templates and sell it. Not that I'm selling this, I'm giving it away for free, but in any case. So yes, these are just torn pieces. These are pockets, and those are labels. Tags and tabs and hole reinforcers. Some index cards. Honestly, I should have put something. I don't like when I have open spaces. And for some reason, I didn't realize this. So in future, if I use this kit, I'll move this down and I'll add a little something at the top, or move it up and add something at the bottom. I don't like this wastage of paper. You'll see that I tried to fill everything. I think this one was filled. I tried to fill every single space. This is another empty one. But there I can add something as well. I don't like to leave you empty spaces. If I can put a little something in there, I like to do that. This one would be a little difficult, but I might add a circle or something. I don't know. This is my first run, so bear with me. This is something I added that wasn't on the original page, to fill the space. Right, and I've done that with a couple of the pages, but anyways. So these you cut out the centers as well, and then you can use them as photo frames. And yeah, aren't they lovely? I think they are just absolutely lovely. Round tags with the pockets, and these fold double, like the old slides. They'll fit on each other like that. Belly bands and all those sorts of things. These are the longer pockets on the side of your journal. Side pockets. This could also serve as a belly band or a bookmark or whatever. It's short tape strips, but they're also great for journaling. You can actually take your pages, the full page spreads, and print them 4 to a page and get pretty much the same kind of thing, although you'll have the torn edges and so forth. So that's another idea to do that. Just some more tags, and these you can cut, you know, trim the corners or something and turn them into, you know, just change the shapes up a little bit if you want. Oh, this one's upside down. I guess means the whole thing is upside down, doesn't matter. And so the kit also came with these lovely butterflies, and I printed these. But let me sort of go here directly. After printing these, I also printed 2 more of the same page, but this time 2 on a page. And so in PDF, you would need to set it to print 2 on a page, and then you would have to put your paper in, print 1 copy, turn it over, put it in again, and print the other copy. At least my PDF reader works like that. I assume they all do. I have not found one that doesn't. But you literally just put it through twice. And that's why you'll see that the butterflies are lying in opposite directions and so forth. Because you'd have to put it in like this and turn it around and put it in like this. I hope that helped. I love the size of this, but I think this is a more useful size. I don't know, time will tell us we use this, right? In any case, like those. Then, yeah, I just had a bit of space and threw in a butterfly, and there's a couple of tabs there. All of these embellishments are just absolutely wonderful, and using the same designs over and over, another space saver. So these are pockets, and I don't know, I've sort of moved past the tickets and whatever. Some hearts. It is February. We're still into Valentine. Nowadays we call it Galentine. Have you guys heard the term Galentine? It's for your guys and gals, your friends. We make it a friendship thing rather than a love thing. It so takes the pressure off of people. And I work at a high school, so you need to understand. Those teenagers, they get themselves worked up into a tiff because they don't have a Valentine. They don't have someone. And that's an external pressure that we put on people. And it's so unnecessary, isn't it? So, yeah, I like the term Galentine so much better. Just be someone's friend. And then some more pockets, a little space saver. And there we go, some more pockets here at the end. And that's the kit. So the embellishments have 21 pages. No, I'm lying. 25 pages of embellishments, 21 pages of full page, 14 pages double spread, and that makes this a kit of 60 pages in total. I did not count the individual embellishments. I don't know what that comes down to. Perhaps I should have. I didn't. It's enough. I think it's enough to work with. And if it's not enough, you simply put it through your printer and you print a couple more. Now, for now, I'm going to leave you so I can fussy cut all of this, and then I'll be back and we'll build a journal. Why don't we do that? Right, I'm back. I have been cutting and prepping and getting things ready. And here's where we're at. So these are the pages that are printed. 2 pages, the 2-page spreads. Now, I've backed these on some of these manipulated photos and things that I've had, and I'll probably share some of these in upcoming releases and so forth. Honestly, they will probably still be free of charge. In any case, so look out for those. But I did not want to back it in pink per se. Now, you could have used these backing papers, and you still can. But I wanted a little bit more variety, so I backed it in more colors and things. Okay, Anyways, so those are the double-sided ones. These will be 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, why am I counting them? You all know. You printed 14 if you printed these, right? Also, the full page spreads that I have backed. Oops, this one is backed on pink, but they're not all backed on pink. That one just is a fluke. So these are the full page spreads. Now these are brilliant for backing these with, and it's brilliant for backing your embellishments with. But those are my 2 pages, and I've printed all of these and folded them double because they can easily be used as double pages because of the way that they are designed. They don't have any specific anything that sort of keeps them from being just folded over and turning into a page. I also, let me just show you this, I also rounded the corners on the pages, so that just gives them a bit of a nicer finish. Okay, so those are my pages, and I'm just sliding them in here to make a bit of space. I printed this little cover page thingy, 4 on a page. The size is 4 on a page. I only printed 1, but I set the size to print 4 on a page, and you really don't have to. But remember, this is now my first little stint with creating a digital kit, so I'm going to include this in the journal for me, for my own sake, and I'm just showing you this because you're going to see it somewhere in the video when I design this. I then fussy cut all of the different elements, and this took me forever to do. I folded the little envelopes and things as well, and we'll get to these in due time, but this was, it was an arduous task, let me say this. Now I have a brother scan and cut, and I could have just fed it in there and have it cut for me, but I did want to experience what it would feel like if I needed to cut this by hand. Give yourself some time, put on a good movie, and do it over a couple of days, because I killed my hand doing it in one day. It's possible to do it in one day, but it's a lot of cutting, so yes. And then I retrieved the off-cut pieces, and these are the ones that always irritate me. I have discovered a lot of gaps that if I use the same layout in future projects, I'm going to fill those gaps. Nonetheless, this can be turned into very nice little pockets and things. Now these will not be backed because they, it's the embellishment pages, and these are the blank areas between the embellishment pages, but my embellishments are all backed. Let me just pull something out here. All my embellishments are backed, so I have a bit of freedom when I use them. Do I want them to go this way or that way, or do I want them to lift up, fold over, I'm going to have that kind of liberty. But now the white areas between the embellishments means that on the other side they will have a color. And this is what I mean by offcuts. Now I have ideas for this, so I'm going to put it aside. Whenever I'm with a project, you know by now, when I'm busy with a project, I keep the scrap pieces aside because, from time to time I delve into them and I just sort of use those. Now, on top of that, I'm sorry for speaking so fast. I'm once again recording this part of the video before I go to school, before I go to work, and I think anyways. I have prepared. Let me get back to this one. I've prepared a number of pages that I want to include in the journal. This will make the journal more interesting. Now I've got a whole stack here, and whether I'll be able to use all of these or not kind of remains to be seen. This one tore out so ugly, I'm going to put it at the bottom. So these are all from a coloring book that I bought on Temu, and honestly when it arrived it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It has these little moody girls. I don't like the moody girls, I like the friendly ones. Any case, so we have these, and I'll probably just use it somewhere in the journal because yes, well, I've got to do something with these girls, don't I? And then, we can do something with them. This is a coloring book that I bought at a thrift store, charity store. And I tore a couple of these pages out. I'm thinking of using these. This is a book on wildflowers that I took apart. And this is a single page in the book. But I have backed the page with some lined paper. So if I now use this as a page in a journal, that's rather lovely pages. So I've got a couple of those. Then I have an art book that I took apart. This is a collection from a company, the art. And there's a couple of these images that I have kept aside that I can use as pages. This is another book. This is by a specific artist, and it's actually a how-to paint kind of book. But also these, I think, will make very interesting pages. And so I figured we'll include some of these. This is a children's book with little rhymes and things. Lovely little images on the side, lovely little rhymes. This is by William Wordsworth. This is by William Blake. So these are not just children's rhymes, they're actual poems. But aimed at a younger market, that's true. So, yes, I'd like to include these. They were backed on, this is actually a flip board paper. It's more like a newspaper type of thing, a little bit stronger than newspaper. But this is the backing, and this makes for lovely journaling space on the back. Right, this is a children's book, a children's story book, that I have once again cut the images out. I then backed it on paper, and in that same, because these are book pages. Now underneath this picture, there's going to be writing. So I worked with the blank spaces in the margins. And then because it had writing at the back as well, you can actually see it coming through, I backed this on the newspaper print as well. So these are very sturdy, strong elements that I think I can incorporate as pages. This is a book on glass painting, and I've cut out the images, and I think when I fold these over, they will make for lovely pages in a journal. I love this round one. I think these are going to be such interesting pages. So in any case, that's what I have in mind with those. Lots of it. Don't know what I will use and what not. And then I've got a couple of envelopes and little bags and things that I can use. So this is a CD envelope. Some of these, what do you call this? I don't know. These bags and some brown envelopes. And we'll see how we incorporate those. This is a little book on prayer that I've taken apart. I'd love to incorporate some prayers and things in the journal. I'm a believer, so I like that. And then this is a book on trees and the identification of trees and whatever it is. And these are my my silent pages that if I want to create something over this, it gives me the space to do some art journaling, whatever it is. So these are not for the sake of the pages. They're not for the sake of the images. They just creative space in the book. This is a German children's Bible, and I took a couple of the pages from the German children's Bible. Now, I do not speak German, but I can understand it rather well. And along with my knowledge of the Bible, if I read a passage like this, I can make sense of it. So this being a rather personal journal, I didn't mind including these pages as is. I'm going to put these in as is and then see how we deal with them when we get to journal this and build the journal and so on. Now then I came to another book. This is on Renaissance art, I believe the book is, and it had all these black and white images. And I don't know if we can, but we're going to try and incorporate these. I'm gonna give this a shot. Now there's a lot of naked people in here. And not my thing, but in any case, we'll see. This is from the same book, but now it's more blank space. So these are not completely blank pages, but they will have a lot of journaling space, and then some pages that you would need to deal with, like this one. And we will find a way to deal with that. So this is a little bit of journaling space that I'm adding. And then this is a book by Jaco Elof, I think is the artist. And I love these images. You've seen this before, my journaling. And this is, I think this is going to be the trickiest bit, because I want to make the journal more or less this size. And it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But we'll see how we deal with this and if it can be incorporated or not. And then we'll take it from there. So those are the pages that I'm thinking of incorporating in the journal, aside from the ones that come in the kit. Now, I then went into my stash of covers of books that I have weeded and taken apart and whatever, and this is a size that I liked. It is substantially larger than the pages in the kit, and I have smaller ones. But I think I will be able to use this. Now, the spine is going to be too small. Just for this already, the spine is too small. So I will probably cut the spine apart and use the cover pages and create a new spine. I love this image here. And the back is just blank, so that's not a problem. But I absolutely adore this image. Probably lose the spine. We'll see if I even use this. I might create my own cover pages, all sort of up in the air at this stage. I wanted to share this part with you before I start compiling signatures and stuff, just so you could see how I brought it up to this point. Okay, so my next step is to compile signatures, and once I've done that, I will continue with this video so that you can see how I put the signatures together and how I dealt with some of those problematic pages and images and so forth. So I'll be back once that's done. Okay, right, I am back, and I've compiled the signatures, and here's what we've got. I have 7 signatures backed out, and they're pretty similar. So this is a pack, and the rest I'm going to just sort of put aside so we can work with the first signature. And there's no particular order. Honestly, there isn't. So here is what we have to deal with. The first page looks like this. And I'm going to keep bringing the cover page in, because that is going to be the determining factor for how we fold these pages. I kind of think I want to fold this one like this. This may be a little strange, but I like that. I don't think I'm going to do anything to even out this side of the page. I like that. I'm going to leave it be. Well, at least for now. Right, our next page looks like this and like this. Let's fold it double. I'm going to bring it in bone folder. I think it's a blob of glue or something. that's creating a bit of an upheaval there, but that's not the biggest issue. Okay, so this looks lovely. And we've got some lovely journaling space, and that's rather gorgeous as well. For now, I'm just going to put them aside. Okay. Then we have this art page, which is a bit of a weird one. Let's put it aside for the moment. We're going to decide what to do. And here's another art page. And then we've got, oh my goodness, what a noise in the street all of a sudden. Okay, so there's this children's book, and this one is too wide. So we shall have to do something here. We could very easily simply fold it here. Yes. And then we might perhaps look at adding this one here with another folding. It's maybe not a bad idea. The cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter. I like this because those are the birds, and that's the cock. Right, I kind of like that. I think we should do that. And there's something here to neaten it up and do, but that's later. For now, I like this idea, and I'm going to attach this page here. And I got a little spider hanging from me. How cute, on a spider's web. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little line of glue down here. Nothing serious. I could also bring it down or up. Things I should have checked before, and I'm going to bring it down. A little bit of seepage there. And we'll decide later which way we want this to fold. Or shall we decide it now? Why not? Let us fold this one in like that. That's going to be an interesting page. Not fancying it up, I need to remind myself. Yeah, just folding the signatures at this stage. Right, our next page is this one. Looks like this and like that. Like this side better, but that's okay. We can... if I were to fold it there, yes, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it along the lines of this, the two sort of less alike pages, because that way this square makes sense on its own, and this sort of half circle makes sense on its own, and on the inside this is not going to bother at all. Okay, so I like that. Put that one aside. Next one, I actually pulled out the second one of these envelopes because I thought perhaps we could turn them into signatures like this. The one maybe sliding into the other. I don't know. any case, I will figure out how I want to work with these. Maybe not. How about maybe I just attach these and I put them in as is, so they'll have the openings at the top of the journal with the hinge here. And then we've got to figure out how we're going to hinge them. Well, that's where all these scrappy bits come in. There are loads of things that I could use for a hinge here. I kind of like this color. Not exactly even. Maybe I've got something a little better, yes. This one would work equally well. Alright, so in that case, we are going to chop this off here. And I'm going to fold this over. This is going to be a little tricky, but not impossible. And so this will be our little hinge for the 2 pages. Now I need to decide. Yes, I think that works beautifully. Okay. So I'm just going to put glue on the one end first. Make sure the envelope is open. And glue the hinge in place. Okay. Then I'm going to put glue down the other side. Making sure it's open. I'm laying the 2 envelopes down exactly on top of each other. And they will then open like this. Something looks like it's got to move in. Not that you will see that. No, I'm not going to move them in because then they are going to affect each other on the opening. So I'm going to leave that be. Okay, and that needs to dry, but there's our page, envelope page. Okay, this is a full scap with the prayers. Your plans and my plans, a time to sleep, the possession of obsession. That sounds interesting. And nature walk. Oh wow, okay. The reason I'm saying wow is literally all of those things are featured in my last week. This page will go in as is. Not doing anything with it just now. This one can go in as is. Not doing anything with that now. Right, then we've got to deal with this page. We are going to fold it in half like this. And we will, ooh, it's got lovely journaling space, 3 pages of journaling space, and this page we will need to deal with in good time. Right, then we have this art page. It's actually a foolscap one. Yo, it's problematic. I'm going to half it. Now, this one is still problematic because one picture will be upside down while the other will be the right way up. That is problematic. Okay. We shall have to deal with it when we come to it. I've got to decide then which ones I like best. Or not. Okay, anyways, we'll get to that. Now this one, equally problematic, because here the pictures lie in this direction and here it lies in that direction. And that makes it slightly difficult. But I think if we fold it on this side, that might work. Might be less problematic than the other one actually. Okay, here's another one. The Decline of Art. Very badly torn out, and whatever it is, I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to fold it as is. This one has lovely journaling space. I don't mind the badly torn pages. This is junk journaling. It goes. It's a bit of grunge. All I need to decide is do I want it at the top or the bottom. I actually think I want it at the top. It's more obvious. Okay, this is a little page that I added. Kind of after the previous video, or the previous part of the video was made. And this is an advertisement. They were handing these things out at school with little samplers and whatever it is. And yeah, the kids were more interested in the samplers than the ads. So a lot of these were left. And I grabbed these because they're actually quite wonderful to work on with your alcohol markers. Your alcohol markers tend to bleed through. But there's a bit of a coating on this one, so it doesn't bleed through. And I kind of thought if I were to stick this down, I wouldn't stick it on a blank page. But where's that other one? This one, for instance. We have pages like this to deal with. And if I were to stick this down on a page like this, yeah, I'm sure I can work it out. And then I can do something with my alcohol markers on this. I know it's stark white. I'm not going to be too bothered with that because the alcohol markers are going to change the colors on this one. But I think, I'm just going to leave it in there. I think that's what I would like to do there. So, yeah, okay. I also added this music score page. And again, let me just pull that away. Just going to fold it in two. No, I am going to fold it in two. I'm just kind of testing it out because I could also fold it like this and then maybe fold in a little bit at the bottom and you'd have a pocket. I like that idea too. I do like that idea. Let me leave this one for a minute. I'm going to sort of put it there towards the bottom and we'll see how the signatures come together. I like this. I do like this. I'm just going to fold this one over. There's so much that I like about this one. This still makes sense. This makes sense. That little birdie is going to be cut off. How much does that matter? Actually, not too much. Okay. Right. You've got these two girls. One moody, one angry. On the opposite side, yeah, something similar like that to that. What do we do with you ladies? I'm going to wedge them. Just give me something so a little bit more even. Oh, this will be just about perfect. Oh yes, just about perfect. Slightly short. I've got longer pieces here that I could pull out along the same line. I'm not going to bother. I think I like this. I like what's happening here. And I'm just going to use this as is. So, with that said, I need to create a fold. And I don't think I'm folding along the grain of the paper because it doesn't fold very easily, but I don't have much of a choice here. This is the direction the fold needs to go. You can see it's not along the grain because it has all sorts of ugly things here. But the bone folder will straighten it out rather nicely. Okay, so anyways, I like this idea. So that's the first one down. Now the second one, I need to be a bit more careful with because it's very badly torn. So I'm kind of looking at that line and looking where I need to glue, and I think I can glue like this. And more along the edge than anything else. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Okay. Got a page. One is further in than the other. Yeah, it's this one that's badly torn. Nobody's going to see that. They won't be together. Okay, right. I also added this page. This is an old book that I've got lying around the house. I don't know from which. Is this somewhere from my school days that this still dates? I don't know. Anyways, found it and decided to. I like the squares. I think they're going to make for interesting space in the journal. Right, then we have the printables, and I like combining printables with normal pages. So I've got 2 from the double page spread, and I've got 3 from the single page. And let me show you this. I am kind of thinking I should make the rest of the photos available as is. They have been retouched as photos. I've manipulated the photos a bit, but they do make for very interesting backgrounds. And I think I should just upload the photos as is without taking it into Canva and turning it into anything. And yeah, let me know what you think. Should I do that for you? There's about 9, I think there's 91 photos like this. Would you like a pack like that you can just print and use for backgrounds? Okay, so anyways, that's that. Now I get to this one. Now, here's why I needed to look at this. Can I still accommodate something here? I am going to do that. I am so going to do that. I know I still have the largest one to fold, and I'm going to get to that in a sec. But I am actually going to fold this one over like this on the length and then fold it in at the bottom. I don't want the pocket to be too short, so I'm going to fold it in quite a bit. And fold it over again so you can straighten out this line, and yeah, I kind of like that idea. Okay, now the biggest trick, or the trickiest one in the signature. Oh, I've still got these. Okay, I'll get back to these just now. The trickiest one in the signature is this one. When I pulled these out, I did look that they all had either a sort of blankish space, an open space here at the bottom, or at the top. And that's how I selected them from the book, because I've got a substantial amount left. On the other side, it looks like this. Now, I think I'm going to use this as a guide. Let me start here. It's too wide. Okay, I also don't like that it's going to fold right there. So what I'm going to do rather is to fold it this way. Let me just take the book away for a second. I'm rather going to fold it this way. Look at me folding against the grain again. Right. Then we're going to fold up. No, we're going to fold. I'm going to fold it up here. Okay, well, let's see. Again, the book is in my way. Just taking it out of the way. Okay, so now we have this. Now we like that, but I still want to fold it in. Where's my book now? I need to fold it in a little bit of the way. I'm going to unfold this bottom. Okay, take the book away again. Oh my goodness. It is going to be that kind of thing. Bring it in, take it away, bring it in, take it away. Okay. So this one will come this way. And we shall cut off this bit. Okay. Yes, I choose to do that. Right, so this side will look like this. That will look like that, and you'll page it and it'll look like that. And we can do a flip out thing here. Or a pocket. I kind of think I like the idea of a flip out. Now I don't like how the page has broken here because we're folding against the grain. This is a rather thick page, but I think I'm just going to bring in some washi tape or something and strengthen that fold there, especially if I'm going to use it as a flip out. If I'm going to paste this down and use it as a side pocket, then I don't need to bother because there's not going to be any movement there. But if there's going to be movement, then I need to strengthen it. So that sort of depends on where I go with that. Okay, now we have all of our pages for the signature, and there's a lot here. Okay, here, and we still need to decide upon these two pages and how we are going to deal with these. Now we can either fold them and each becomes a page, or we can wedge them and they become 2 pages, like that. They're either 4 pages or 2 pages, in other words. I kind of like the idea of retaining the integrity of the paintings. So why don't we rather wedge them? We've got enough pages. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. If I make this 24, I can easily divide them in 2, but if I make it 23, honestly, one signature can have one less page. It'll be quite all right, especially since one of the pages is a thick paper like this. Well, here's another one that's really thick. Here's another one that's really thick. Yeah, it's quite possible. Quite possible to divide them like that. Okay, let's do that. Shall we just wedge these? Not wedge these. Hinge these. I think so. I do think we shall. Again, we go into our scraps and we find a piece to hinge them with. Now that's an idea. I'm not too fond of what I'm seeing. I like that one better. Or should I go with this one? Is it a little bit more natural looking? What does the other side of this look? Oh, very bright. And this one very dull. Let me go with this one. Yeah, I'm sure it can carry it. Okay. So yet again, we create the hinge. Now I'm thinking that 24 pages might be too many pages for a signature, or 23 pages rather. And that's why I'm now thinking of splitting it. We'll see what I do. Honestly, guys, if you want to use the kit alone without adding any pages, there are 14 and 21. So 14 double spread pages and 21 single spread pages. That's 35 pages. 35 pages is a proper journal, honestly. So you don't need to add any pages to it. I think it would be interesting, and that's why I'm adding the pages. Now this needs to come on this side. Okay, so because I think it's going to be more interesting this way, I have opted to add more pages, makes it a more interesting journal. It's also with that in mind that I have moved away from just the pink. Let me show you this. But I added all sorts of other backgrounds and things. I like pink, obviously I like pink. My whole house is filled with pink. But at the same time, I think, you know, it gets a bit boring if you only do one color. I did not develop the kit thinking that you're going to just use it in one journal. I kind of thought go all over the place with it. Okay, now here is the bit that I now need to figure out. I am going to I do lose less if I glue it on the side, isn't it? I think so. Right. I'm going to give myself some pencil markings here where the glue can go. And then I'm going to cut this away. Now this is going to be the excess hinge, right? Okay. Right. Then we put the glue there. And we bring in this one. Lovely. And these would have to be folded shorter. Let me show you. If I bring this in, and especially this one, then you can see these are going to stick out at this stage. So I am going to have to fold them shorter. I'm not going to bother just yet. These, I like it this way. Hang on. Okay, so that bloke can fold there. Then he still sits in wonder and awe of all of this. And this one, which way do I want to fold it? I'm going to fold it this way. Slightly shorter. I'll probably let both flap out instead of turning them into pockets. But we'll talk about that later when we get to that. Okay. So there we go. Let me just flatten these a bit. Okay, right. That is the pages that we want to include in either one or two signatures. Those are the pages. Better way of saying it. Right, those are more or less the same, so we can put them aside. I want to just kind of create a little bit of space here for myself so I can organize this. I'm going to toss this little corner. I'm not going to use that. Right. Just trying to see the different kinds of pages we've got here. Those are also artworks. Separating them into groups. Yeah. And now I need to decide what is going to be my center page. And I have this that I could make a center page. Or, no, I don't want to make those center pages. Could also make this a center page, just fold it the other way. I think I'm going to go with this one. No, not going to make that one a center page. Right, so let's make this a center page. What about this? With a boundless energy of their kind. Then I can do something grand here. Okay, it's another idea, but then what would this look like if I halved it? It's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, it's a possibility. I think though that I would like a more sedate page here. Then maybe this one. Then maybe this one. And then this one. Because it's upside down paintings. We'll get to that later. Well, this is going to be sedate on the inside, at least. Hang on. Here to still add these. So many things happening here. Okay, well, I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add one of these. I'm going to add... Okay, this one I'm just going to sort of... No, I'm going to forget it if I put it aside. So let me put it there. There. Shall I come in with this one? Still going, still happy. I think I want this one, the prayer here, because that's what you'd find me doing in a spot like that. It's oh yeah, looks like it's a brilliant place to. But I also like how the colors go. I really like that. And then let's bring in another one of these, because the colors also go very well here. Let's just see what else we've got here. I like that. Okay. Then we go with this. And this. It's too thick. I can tell you already I don't like it, it's too thick. I'm going to pull it apart. But okay. Let's build it. This, and that, and that. Definitely gonna have to turn this into 2 signatures. It is massive, and I'm going to show you why it's not acceptable as a single signature. I'm going to just push them together here in the spine. we've been measuring it against this book, right? They must all fit in here. And I've already folded it back and everything, but can you see that now the inside pages are going to be pushed out to that side. Now I've got smaller pages that I can put on the inside, but this whole thing is going to turn into such a gator mouth. It's already a gator mouth. So I think we shall turn this into two journals, two signatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. But I want to do that. I've got too many, isn't it? Okay, we'll check it now. I've got too many. I know I've got too many. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this one can come to the center. 8. 9. I need one of those thicker ones to come out. This one, 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 is a lot. Let's check this one. 1. I like this one here. I like those colors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh goodness, and I still forgot about this one. Well, okay. This one will be 12 and this one will be 11. And that little one I'm going to put here. Right, now they should fit in the signature. Honestly, this one I've got in the center is problematic. Let's bring it over. And you see, now it fits perfectly. Go figure. Okay, so now what have we got in the center? Nothing exquisite. No. No, I don't have a center page now. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, well, let's see what we've got here. That one just goes there. It's not a center page. Center page. This one could be a center page. Yes. So we'll do this. Put that one on the outside here, and this one in the center here. And guys, I know this is a bit tedious, but that's what it takes to build a journal. Honestly, it's a little trial and error, but once you've got it in place, I like that. And I like this on the outside. Okay, once you've got it in place, your journal will develop so much faster. And yeah, in any case, I am going to pack the rest of the signatures. It's going to be a huge journal. I'm thinking maybe I should turn it into more than one journal. Maybe I should invite people over and we make a couple of journals. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, I'm gonna call it a day for this video, because otherwise this video is going to become way too long. And yeah, this video is really about the release of the kit. Got loads of stuff to play with still, and we're going to make the journal still, but that's going to be in another video. I'm going to continue packing the signatures, etc., and we'll see how we can carry on. Once the signatures are packed, we decide where to go with it. But until the next one, see you then. Cheers, guys.